We give great attention to the physical nature every day. I mean, I'm included in this conversation. Every day we're going to do whatever is required to fix up this, to make sure that the physical anatomy has its proper care, its proper attention. And no matter how much attention we give to the physical man, it is still constantly losing life every day. The physical nature, the physical anatomy is not increasing life. Life is actually decaying. Cells, the physical cellular structure of the physical anatomy is decaying every single day. When you get to be my age, you begin to experience it even more so. Every single day, there is a loss of physical substance. But the turnaround on the inside, in contrast, in comparison, if we would learn to give attention to the inner man, the inner woman, the life that lives inside of you, that's where we can actually allow God to add dimension to us, where we can see an increase of life, where we can see life expand and grow and develop and become more than what we used to be. It's the internal man, the man or the woman inside of you, that Jesus has come to give attention to the inner man. We give a lot of attention to the external, to the outer man. Jesus says, I'm coming so that you might have life. And he wants to speak to the man, the woman that's inside of you, to allow that person, that life inside of you to grow, to develop, to expand, to rise to greater levels of maturity, to really begin to discover the greater essence and reality of life. That's where we have an opportunity to grow. The life that's inside of you. That's where you can begin to expand. So that's where we need to give our attention. Not so much the clothing of the physical man, but we need to provide the spiritual clothing of the inner man, the woman inside of you. Because the inner man is naked. It needs a covering. It needs spiritual covering so that it can be protected. Sometimes we are so absorbed with our focus and our attention on this physical nature that we allow the inner man to continue to die, to decay, to be uncovered, to be naked, to be in need. And I want to simply encourage you, you don't have to remain in that condition. Just because you have that great sense of emptiness and void and uncertainty on the inside of you doesn't mean you have to remain in that condition. Why? Because Jesus says, I've come that you might have life. Put on a covering on the spiritual man, the woman inside of you, to give that nature in you covering, protection, the attention that it needs so it can grow, it can develop, it can expand, it can fully mature into what we are supposed to become in Christ. Now watch this. Covering the internal senses, covering the internal man, covering the man or the woman inside of you will allow us to cover that entity, that part of us that feels like it's not being taken care of. The part that feels lifeless. Jesus has come to give life, to give you what you don't have on the inside, internally. That deep-seated feeling, that emptiness that just continues to grow and to develop, that deep down sense that there's something missing, something absent, something I need that I don't have. It becomes, I'll use the phrase, the elephant that's in the room that we don't want to talk about.